Hello fellow realtors, this is Eric Schulte and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about Transform Jeff City. You're hopefully seeing some signs around town and surely have heard about it by now, but I just kind of wanted to explain a little bit of how this started and what it really consists of, and then specifically how it will affect us as realtors, and why I feel so greatly that we should really get behind this and make sure that this vote passes. This all started with a company out of Texas that was hired by the Chamber to do a study of Jefferson City. It's called TIP Strategies, and John Roberts was the gentleman that came to town and did the study, did a presentation early 2011. Nearly everyone was invited. We had, I think, 600 or 700 people that came to it, and he spoke about quality of place. And one of the things that he discussed was, as he travels the country doing this consulting work, he says that everybody, they talk about their quality of life in their area, as we all do. It's a great place to live, great place to raise children, that kind of thing. But what he specifies needs to happen is there needs to be a quality of place, and basically the difference is the quality of place is viewed from someone outside of the area. How does somebody outside of Jefferson City view us and our town? And that's what sets you apart from the rest of the country, obviously, as we're always competing with when it comes to economic development. So that is really what this was all about. What happened were there were several committees that were formed, and there were nearly 400 people involved in those committees. Some of those, or majority of those, were chamber members, but there were many, probably I would say about 100 of those were outside of the chamber even. I know we had several realtors involved. I know 5 or 6 that I can think of right offhand that were involved in those studying committees. Those committees came up with basically a list of projects that we wanted to do to better Jefferson City. First one on the list talks about the Missouri State Penitentiary. Obviously, we're doing tours now at the state pen. It's getting a lot of national recognition. 17,000 people toured it last year, according to the Convention and Visitors Bureau. So it's doing well, but those buildings are deteriorating very fast. That is part of the project, is to get those buildings up to snuff and get them to where they are standing and doing well again. Also, we're going to try to get infrastructure in the remaining part of the prison property. There's 70 plus acres there right in the heart of Jefferson City. So we're trying to get infrastructure put into that so that that can be developed right in the middle of Jeff City again. Next thing is Conference Center. I know this is one that's been on the books for a long time. It's been talked about many different times. This will actually get it built, and this gets it a nice conference center. What they're proposing is to get an exhibition hall as part of it, as well as enhance the original plan, or the most current plan of the conference center. Another big part of this is St. Mary's redevelopment. When the new St. Mary's gets finished, I think it's 2015 is the date that they're supposed to move into the new St. Mary's, and then the old St. Mary's is going to be empty. Obviously a huge building again right in the middle of Jefferson City. They've collaborated with Lincoln as well as several other, talked to the other universities around, but mainly Lincoln. They're wanting to do a School of Nursing program in there, a research and health informatics program, which is a new thing that's really up and coming, they say, a culinary arts center, as well as a community health and children's discovery zone in the St. Mary's redevelopment, as well as some other collaborations with the other schools. So that's part of it too. There's some money in here for Old Town redevelopment, the East End, kind of behind Prison Brews and that. They're wanting to build a parking structure there that could be used as kind of a multi-purpose building. It'll have a roof over it, so you can do farmers markets and things like that there. Mill Bottom, there's some Mill Bottom redevelopment things, and then also a parking garage downtown, 600 car parking garage downtown, as well as some Capital Mall incentive studies and a mobile app, obviously, for Jeff City too. A nice mobile app for us. So those are kind of a list of the projects, and I urge you to go on the website and look at those. And just think about whether or not it'll help Jeff City as a whole. I know that there's going to be parts of it you're going to like, parts that you may not like, but we've got to really think about whether or not this will help Jeff City as a whole. The other thing is, so how are we going to fund this? That was the next thing that came about, and that's what we're working on now, obviously, is that it's a 0.5% sales increase, sales tax increase. So if you spend $100, this will be 50 cents in addition for sales tax. That was really kind of the only way that we could come up with that would even possibly fund all of these projects. And here's kind of how it's going to be controlled. I know there's been a lot of I think miscommunication maybe about this, or misunderstanding about how it will be controlled. There is a 5-person Jefferson City Economic Development Tax Board that will be created as soon as this passes. There'll be 5 voting members. 1 member will be appointed by the Jeff City School Board. 3 members will be appointed by the mayor with the approval of the city council, and then will be 1 member approved by the county commission, or appointed by the county commission. In addition to those members, there's also going to be non-voting members. One of those will be the Jeff City Board of Realtors will have a seat on that, the HBA, Old Town Development Corporation, the Chamber of Young Professionals, and they can add more as needed. So we will actually have a voice in that as members of Jeff City Board of Realtors. That group will basically make the recommendation on all of these projects as they move forward once the funding comes in. Then the city council actually has a final decision. So your elected city council officials will make the final decision on every single dollar that's spent through this project. And these are key projects that have been identified, again, by over 400 people within Jefferson City. Many have been discussed for years, and this is our time to really move forward and get those done. So, looking at all of that, how will this directly affect us as realtors? Here's what we're trying to do is slowly grow Jefferson City. We have been pretty much stagnant for 10+ years. And I looked at some numbers. I'm kind of a numbers guy, so I looked at some numbers. If you go to the 2010 census, it stated that the Cole County population is 75,990 people. If we could get Cole County to grow at 1% rate annually, 1% a year, and this is just to clarify, this is a sales tax for Jefferson City only, but I know, as well as I think all of you will agree, that Jefferson City, the jobs in Jefferson City is what drives the population of Cole County. So if we could get Cole County to grow at a 1% rate, that'd be an additional 559.9 people a year. The home ownership rate, according to the census for Cole County, is 68.1%. So that's an additional 517 homes a year that we would be looking at selling in Jefferson City. So in 2011 we had 935 sales, 517 additional ones. We're looking at over a 50% increase would be possible if we could get just a 1% growth every single year. So that is how it will obviously very directly affect us in Jefferson City. And one thing to keep in mind, these projects, the ripple effect of them could be huge. I know the mall is watching this very seriously. General Growth Properties, or the owners of the mall, they are thinking about doing something with that. And I think if we get this through, I think they probably will. So we need your help. If you're a Facebook or a Twitter user, go on there and post about this. You can go to the website. It's TransformJC.wmv.com, TransformJC.wmv.com. Visit that. And you can get links straight to Facebook and Twitter and that kind of thing. We do have yard signs also that you can put up, or if you know anybody that would like to have a yard sign, especially if they've got a high visibility area, we've got those at the board office. Also, you can get, there's contacts on the website for that also. So thanks for watching the video. I hope this answers several questions at least, and if you have any, feel free to contact me or anyone involved in the transformation. Again, I think this could be the best thing that we could get done this year as realtors, and really do some good for our town, and hopefully build some growth here in Jefferson City. Thanks again.